SmackDown took place tonight in Greensboro, North Carolina. We started the show off first by seeing both Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax arrive to the arena for their main event match, which was for the WWE Women's Championship. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and the man formerly known as Jeff Cobb start the show. Jeff Cobb is now JC Mateo. Okay, whatever. So Solo's talking, and he's just killing the vibe. He sucks. Fatu takes the mic away. That gets a good pop. And Solo's trying to get him to say, "I love you, Solo," which is what he would always say. And he's trying to do it to get him to, in a way, bow down to him, to acknowledge him, if you will. But Jacob says it lightly, "I love you, Solo," but Solo wants him to say it with more enthusiasm, like he really meant it. So before he can do that, LA Knight interrupts, and he attacks JC for attacking him at a Backlash, and it sets up a match with her tonight. Mishin and B-Fab are backstage, and they're talking about Mishin and her match, and then Chelsea Green is with the Secret Service. She interrupts, and she also wants her shot to go to Money in the Bank, and then Alexa Bliss walks by to set up the Triple Threat qualifier match. B-Fab and the Secret Service, it was announced, would be banned from ringside. So, out comes Alexa Bliss to another big pop. This woman, every time she's on TV, she gets a big pop. She has to be one of the most popular female stars in the company. Right now, she's probably the most over woman besides Rhea Ripley. Everywhere she goes, people love her. People just like Alexa Bliss. Then Mishin and Chelsea Green come out after the break, and we get a triple threat match, qualifier match. Winner gets a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match to get a briefcase, and we have Alexa being the fan favorite, Chelsea, who got a decent ovation, Mishin, as usual, not getting much of a pop. So at first, both Alexa and Mishin team up against Chelsea Green, and then Chelsea gets the upper hand, and Chelsea really gets the heat on Alexa Bliss. She beats her down for the entire break, and then once the break happens, we see Alexa start to make her comeback. Crowd is really into her, as I said. They do the boo thing with Alexa and Chelsea, fans behind Alexa. And then the match is near the end where Alexa Bliss hits the Twisted Bliss onto Mishin. Chelsea Green pulls her out, and I thought, oh, is Chelsea going to get in? This is how they're going to protect Alexa, get Chelsea in, because she took a big bump last year in the ladder match. But then Chelsea hits the Unprettier onto Mishin. But then Alexa gets back into the ring, and she hits the Sister Abigail DDT for the second consecutive week onto Chelsea Green. Pins her again, 1, 2, 3. Alexa Bliss wins. She gets a big pop after she pins Chelsea Green. She will qualify in the Money in the Bank Women's Ladder match. She's the first one to. And after that, she pointed to the briefcase, and I wasn't sure if she was pointing to the sky for Bray Wyatt, her friend, her Fiend Forever, or she was pointing to the briefcase, but I'm not sure. But the best part, actually, was after the match, we see Alexa win, and there's a camera shot, and we see a fan with a sign that says, "Fireflies fly forever," and Alexa even retweeted that after that, so she really liked it too, a tribute to Bray, and we'll see what's going to happen with the Wyatt Six. I'm not sure if they're going to bring them back or not, because Alexa looks like she's going to be on her own right now, but they're still referencing it in some ways when she does a Sister Abigail DDT. So we'll see what happens there. But we haven't heard from these guys in a while, and if they better hope they put them with Alexa Bliss, because if they're not with her, they might be somewhere else, and that somewhere else is the unemployment line. So we go to a tag match. We saw highlights of what happened last week, which was the confrontation with Fraxium and DIY, and that's our match. I felt like this is the kind of match that should have been built up, and they could have had this all-time great tag match. But you know what? They still had a really good tag match on TV. And the more I think about it, this was an NXT. It would be like a great match, but DIY is not that over. Fraxium is, and it made sense for the right team to go over here. So DIY, they get the heat on the break for a while. Gargano and Ciampa beat them down. As soon as it's over, and it seems like this is the same thing every week, every time I watch Fraxium, and this is for us international viewers, if you're watching in the U.S. and you are watching on USA Network, the problem is you're not seeing what's happening on the commercials. I am, and when I see the commercials, what's going on between the breaks, it's always Fraxium's getting their ass kicked, and as soon as they come back from commercial, they make a big comeback, and that's exactly what happened. Right on cue. They got a This Is Awesome chant. There was also a This Is Awesome chant for the women, so 2 consecutive matches. The crowd started off really hot tonight, I have to say. They were into a lot of stuff. And Fraxium was super over here. People like him right now. Both Nathan Frazier and Axiom are very good. Frazier, I think, is the star of the group. And there were several near falls, but there was also many breakups. There was points where it looked like they might give it to Gargano and Ciampa, but I thought, Fraxium really needed to win. And eventually, Axiom pins Johnny Gargano with the win in a roll-up combination. After the match, DIY continued to beat them down. They attacked them. They're pissed off. And then the Motor City Machine Guns make their return. After they were attacked by DIY last week, they make the save and they get DIY retreat, and they celebrate with Fraxium for getting the win. So they raise their hands up and stuff. Backstage, Andrade is talking to Rey Fenix, and Solo and his group ask about LA Knight. They kind of barge in, and they don't know where he is or where he went. Backstage, Street Profits, after the break, tell Fraxium they will face them for the tag team title soon, and it will be next week. So we got a tag title match next week, hopefully the main event. I just noticed there's a massive height discrepancy. It's probably going to be a big problem here. Like, the Street Profits totally tower over Fraxium. I think Fraxium are smaller than Gargano and Ciampa. I don't know how much they're going to get over, but the SmackDown tag division is awesome. You get the Street Profits, you got Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, you got the Motor City Machine Guns, and you also have the hottest tag team in the world right now, Fraxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom. So it's really good, that tag division. So we go backstage, and Wade Barrett's interviewing R-Truth in a sit-down interview, and he talks about how John Cena isn't the same, and he has to kick sense into him, and the match is then set for Saturday night's main event. And from what I've been seen, it's non-title, which is fine. I actually think that's a good decision. I mean, who cares if it's for a title or not? No one ever knows Truth isn't winning. So Aleister Black is out next, and then we go to a Damian Priest video promo on Drew McIntyre, and he wants it to end. He wants to end this feud, and he announces it's a steel cage match, a Saturday night's main event, Damian Priest against Drew McIntyre. I have to say, I'm pumped up for that match. They're going to have a hell of a match next week. If that's half as good as their WrestleMania match, we got something to look forward to, because their WrestleMania match I thought was great. So I'm looking forward to this. We get a Mellow Don't Miss video promo before Carmelo Hayes goes out for his match with Aleister Black. And fans are into this as well, not as much as the previous 2 matches, but Carmelo Hayes gets the heat on the break, and Black makes a comeback when we return from commercial. And for a brief moment, we had a This Is Awesome chant, and Aleister Black was starting to build some momentum. He's going for the Black Mass, and it looks like he's going to finish Hayes, but then The Miz comes in and attacks him, causing a disqualification. Aleister Black then destroys The Miz, hits him with the Black Mass, and The Miz sells that finisher so good. He really deserves a lot of credit. And I think he's doing a good job elevating Carmelo Hayes. Sometimes I get frustrated with The Miz because he's been on TV for so long. He's really annoying. But other times I really appreciate him. I think he's doing a great job with Hayes and with Black. Black destroys him, but after Black takes him out, Carmelo Hayes attacks Aleister Black's knee. Then he hits his finisher from the top rope, so he lays him out. There's obviously going to be a final match with Black will defeat Hayes. But overall, I kind of like this feud so far. We go backstage, and Byron Saxton interviews Alexa Bliss after her win, and she's talking about going to win Money in the Bank, and we saw glimpses of the old goddess Alexa Bliss. It doesn't feel like it's the Wyatt version of Alexa Bliss, Lily Alexa Bliss, but she still does have the Lily doll, but we saw that goddess character. We haven't seen her in like 6 years. It was nice seeing that, or 5 years. It was nice seeing that character again. However, Alexa walks down the hallway, so she abruptly ends the interview to see Charlotte Flair, who is standing outside of Nick Aldis' office. She brings up what happened with her and Charlotte last week when they talked, and if she's thinking about it, and she praises Charlotte because she says she was the only one to give her the time of day of NXT when they were first at NXT together, and Alexa was right there. She was right with the 4 horsewomen. She said Charlotte took her under her wing, and people kind of forget that. Bliss, I think day 1 in the Performance Center, she was there. and she's been with the company as long as the other four horsewomen have. And her and Charlotte took her under her wing, and she always got along really well with her. And she doesn't get along, from what I've seen, with the other four horsewomen. I don't know. Her and Bailey, I don't know. I don't think they like each other. Her and Becky, they've had interactions on social media. With Becky Lynch said some things Alexa Bliss didn't like. I remember that vaguely. And we all know the legendary rivalry Alexa Bliss has with Sasha Banks, who I'm sure one day we'll see her back in WWE. I would like to see them have this long rivalry one day. That probably isn't going to happen, but they have a long history together. But I've always known her and Sasha don't like each other, but I guess her and Bailey and Becky didn't have the best relationship either, so her and Charlotte do get along really well, and that was the whole thing. So there's some realism there. Alexa is trying to form an alliance with Charlotte, but Charlotte kind of shuts it down, and she tells Alexa to stay out of her way, basically, and she's going into Nick Aldis' office then, after she rejects Alexa's offer, and then Julia comes out. Julia is then revealed, after Nick Aldis comes out later from his office, that Julia is now on the SmackDown Women's roster, and she is done in NXT. No more Julia in NXT. That's it for her. After she lost to Jordynne Grace a couple of weeks ago, that was the last time we'd seen her in NXT. It's too bad. I really wanted to see her have one last big rivalry with Stephanie Vaquer. They'll eventually work with each other again, but that one match they had in the Garden a couple months ago now, that's going to be a one and done, it seems like, for the time being. I really wanted them to have this major rivalry in NXT. I think it would have been big for both of them, but I guess it's not going to happen. I assume Roxanne Perez now, since their split, is going to be on Raw. She's always been on Raw since she came up in February. But Julia is now on SmackDown, so Julia is done in NXT. She has a match next week in a qualifying match with Charlotte, Julia, and who's the third person? I almost forgot that third. Would have to look through the SmackDown Women's roster. It'll actually be Zelina Vega, so she has a chance to become a double champion. So they will have a triple threat match next week, which I'm sure that's actually going to be a really good match. I hope Julia wins. Anyway, Drew McIntyre heads to the ring, and he is out next. He's limping to the ring. He's still selling that brutal bump he took at Backlash when Damian Priest chokeslammed him off the production boxes through two tables, and he hit the concrete. He cuts a promo on Priest. He talks about Priest is jealous of him, and then he says that only one man will walk out of the steel cage, and the other one's going to leave on a stretcher. Very good promo by McIntyre. Fans, I think, are more into McIntyre than Priest, and it makes me think almost as if Drew's foreshadowing that he's not going to be the one to get out of the cage. Probably Priest needs to win this, because I don't think this feud needs to end yet. I still want to see it go on, and maybe they could eventually have another match after that, because it's probably one of the better feuds in the company right now. So as Drew's limping away, Solo Sikoa comes out, and Solo just kills the vibe. He's such a loser. He sucks. But his brother Jimmy actually cut a pretty good promo backstage before going out to the ring. I think Jimmy's just a better performer than Jay is, in my opinion. I think he's a better promo and a better worker. So Jimmy's out, and then Rey Fenix is out last. We get Solo Sikoa, Rey Fenix, Jimmy Uso in a qualifying match for the Money in the Bank ladder match, just one on the men's side, and it was okay. I thought for sure Solo had to win because they do nothing with Jimmy Uso. They don't care about him. And Rey Fenix right now, they're teasing problems with him, and or they're doing something where he's looking for advice, and they want Solo involved. They still want to push him for some fucking God-forsaken reason. They like him. And Solo was eventually going to win. The match was just all right. It was one of the weaker matches on the show, but it was just all right. Solo got the Samoan spike onto Rey Fenix after the Bloodline was interfering, and it distracted him. He got hit the Samoan spike, and Solo heads to Money in the Bank. After the match, LA Knight jumps the Bloodline once again, and he hits him with a chair, and then Nick Aldis comes out, and he eventually makes a match with LA Knight and JC Mateo, his first official match in WWE, and we get the impromptu match. All I can thinking is, this guy is not it. JC isn't it, Jeff Cobb, whatever. They should just let him go to AEW. He's not very good. He's not going to be anything. He's short and he's fat. It doesn't work. Solo towers over him. Jacob towers over him. And Jacob's not that tall of a guy. It's not going to work with this guy. He's a good worker, I have to say. But, I mean, he's short and fat. I mean, Bronson Reed is like that. I don't really take Bronson Reed seriously as this big threat because, you know, I just don't see it too much with him. I don't know with Jeff Cobb. I don't like his look. I just think he's too short. And the match they had was good. It was a good matchup. JC won after distraction after Solo and Jacob were distracting LA Knight to get him off his game. And he gets hit with some power slam. And JC gets the win. And then they tease tension with Jacob and Solo after the match. We go backstage. Santos Escobar's with Angel Garza. And they can't find Berto. And he's not there anymore. They're teasing problems. And there's going to be some sort of intervention next week. And by the way, is SmackDown going to be 2 hours in 2 weeks? Because it's June in 2 weeks. I hope next week, maybe not next week, the next 2 weeks. And 2 weeks from now is the last 3 hour SmackDown because I'm sick of 3 hours. I just want to go back to 2. They had a Nakamura promo on LA Knight, and it's a triple threat match next week. I think in a qualifying match. Nakamura is a part of it. They preview next week's SmackDown show in Savannah, Georgia. And then we go to Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton talking backstage. Jade is talking about how she's going to cash in Money in the Bank on her. Tiffany says she'll never beat her. And they exchange words as Naomi watches in the back. And then we go to the main event, the WWE Women's Championship in Greensboro, North Carolina. For tonight's SmackDown, it was Tiffany Stratton defending her title against Nia Jax. And I have to say, I am no Nia Jax fan, but she's had several good matches now since coming back to WWE, especially in the last several months. Her matches with Bayley always sucked, but her matches with Rhea Ripley were very good, and her match tonight with Tiffany Stratton was surprisingly a damn good, solid matchup. I actually really enjoyed this, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. Maybe it was just I was worried Nia's going to win, and it creates suspense because I really don't want to see her win and hold the belt ever again. But they had it was a fun match. Really, it picked up after Naomi made her run in, and everyone knew Jade would come in after that, and Jade does. And Naomi had a chair with her, and Naomi puts down the chair after Jade comes after her. Naomi retreats in the crowd. Jade chases after her, and I thought, oh, maybe Naomi's going to come back and cost Tiffany the match, but no. That was the last time we'd see them. They just disappeared into the crowd. And the match goes on, and what you have is Tiffany hits the prettiest moonsault ever. It looks like, all right, the match is it. That's it. Nia kicks out, and I think that was the first time anyone's ever kicked out of that moonsault. And then they do a thing where Nia Jax, I think she hits, she goes for there's a spot where Tiffany, I think Nia's on for Annihilator. She goes for Annihilator, and Tiffany tries to hit a powerbomb, but she collapses. I think they did that same style with Bayley, and it looks like Nia's going to win. She collapsed onto her, and 1, 2, oh no. But then Tiffany at the last second grabs the bottom rope, so Tiffany stays alive. And then Nia's frustrated. She tears down the announce booth, and I think that's when she hit the Samoan drop onto Tiffany, onto the announce booth, and maybe that's when, I'm not sure when exactly the Annihilator spot happened, but Nia is so frustrated that she throws the title into the ring, and the ref is distracted, so she grabs a chair that Naomi left, and she's ready to hit Tiffany with the chair, but she gets drop kicked with the chair, and Nia Jax is cut open bad. We see blood all over her. She got hit with that chair because of Tiffany's drop kick, and then Tiffany hits the second prettiest moonsault ever and pins Nia Jax, and Tiffany Stratton retains the WWE Women's Championship in a surprisingly good match. I don't think anyone was expecting this match to be as good tonight. And overall, I have to say, SmackDown was very good this week. It was one of the better SmackDowns I've seen in a while in Greensboro. Crowd was into most of the stuff. I thought both women's matches delivered. They opened and ended the show. You had a good tag match in there. You had a solid match with Black and Carmelo Hayes. I thought Drew and Priest both cut good promos. The only thing I didn't like was Solo, his stuff. And the LNHJC Mateo match, that was actually pretty decent as well. So overall, I thought, carried by wrestling this week, SmackDown turned out to be a very good show. So better than NXT for sure, which is just not doing well right now. Certainly better than Raw was, and and SmackDown had the best show this week, and I enjoyed it overall, and I'm looking forward to Saturday night's main event. I think they've actually done a very good job at loading up the card. So I've been down on WWE ever since that disastrous ending to WrestleMania, but tonight was definitely a better show, a step in the right direction, and I enjoyed it.